Well, hello everybody, greetings from Tideswell in the Peak District. I hope you're all having a good day. Hello everybody. Actually, that's not true. I'm not actually out in the Peak District today, I'm in the theatre. I haven't been able to get out and record something this week because I'm in a show. Look at me grey hair. I'm playing an old man in Ghost, an old dead guy, at Barnsley Lamproom Theatre this week. Nearly done last night, but I've not been able to get out and record a video. So today, it's a bit of a throwback to a video that you may have missed. When I was doing all the early Peak District walks, I would go out for a walk, but there'd be a cook within it. And I think some of you who are into getting the Trangia cooks may have missed this one. So, for your pleasure, just because this week I'm not able to get out and record one, I thought I'd pull out a classic cook from one of my old videos. And if you like the cooking videos, go and check out some of the old ones, you might find one. Catch you in a bit. This is a really cracking dish, I'm really excited about it. So my eldest bushcraft daughter, Bushcraft Junior, I set her the challenge this morning of trying to find me something to make on my walk. And we thought it'd be quite funny because it's called Cheedale, that we do something with cheese. Maybe coming up with some sort of funny pun on Cheedale or Cheesedale. Anyway, she came up with some cheese quesadillas. I brought enough to make a feast for 4, I'm sure I have. There's going to be plenty left over. So yeah, I'm going to be making some cheese quesadillas. Don't need to be called cheese quesadillas. Quesadillas have cheese in, but we'll call these Cheedale quesadillas. Okay, here's the plan then. I will get the stove out in a minute, but I just want to quickly talk you through the ingredients that I need for this dish. I've got 130 grams of barbecue chicken slices, but I'm probably only really going to use about 90 grams of that, so some of that is just going to get munched by me anyway. I've got some salsa, thick and chunky salsa, and the whole jar's 226 grams, but I only really need, if I get this right, I think I need about 30 grams, something like that. In fact, I will just check my recipe now. Yeah, about 30 grams. So be a couple of tablespoons of that. We've got some sour cream, which is just for dipping the quesadillas in afterwards. It's just a side, really. Per person, it's about half a tablespoon. So, you know, 8 grams each, 16 grams for a 2-person portion. I brought the whole thing. I'm not going to be stingy. I love my sour cream, so I'm going to have plenty. I've got 8 just simple flour tortillas. What I've done is I've already cut these down to a size that will fit into the Trangia pan. And I've got 120 grams of cheddar cheese. The recipe does say that it should be Monterey Jack cheese, but I couldn't find any in the shop, so I've just gone for some cheddar cheese. I'm sure it'll be fine. So the first thing that I need to do, I'm going to use my Star Wars bowl that I brought. Into here, I'm going to put my chicken. Now, in typical Bushcraft Dave fashion, I have not brought with me a fork, a knife, a spoon, a spatula, nothing. I brought the ingredients, well done Bushcraft Dave, but nothing at all with me. So at some point, I'm going to have to figure out how to flip the quesadillas over. I just need to grab a couple of sticks or something from the woodland. But anyway, some chicken. Now what I should be doing with the chicken, I'm going to remove some that I'm going to eat. 130 grams in here. I only need about 85. So what I'm going to do, if I had a knife I'd be chopping it up, but I'm just going to tear the chicken up into pieces. So I've got lots of just little scraps of pieces of chicken. Come back to me in a moment. Right, so in there I've got my 80 grams or so of chicken. Obviously your recipe doesn't have to have chicken in. It could have chorizo, it could have bacon, Could be vegetarian. We could maybe stick some like vegetarian substitute in. But sorry, I'm being disgusting. I'm licking my fingers because they're absolutely covered in barbecue sauce. Next thing that goes in is about 32 grams of salsa. So it's a good couple of tablespoons. Let's say that that's about 2 tablespoons. Let's go with that. Obviously, rest of the jar can go with me. Might even serve it on the side. We'll see. And all of that once mixing up with the cheese. Now the recipe doesn't actually say to put the cheese in at this point. When we do eventually heat up the Trangia and we start cooking it, they would say put the chicken and salsa mix on, then sprinkle the cheese on top. I'm just going to lump the whole lot in all together. Give it a mix. This needs to be, in terms of the size of portion that I've got, this needs to be about a quarter of this for each quesadilla, for each 2 tortillas. So a quarter of this for each of these. And like I say, because I've already cut these down, this is still a recipe for 2 people really, because I've taken what would have been normally a 10-inch tortilla, and I've cut it down to about like a 6-inch tortilla really. This is about half the size when you take everything into account. Right, let's do another bit of nasty mixing with my fingers. I'm going to get all this mixed up, deal with aftermath, and then we're going to get the Trangia stove on. Okay, so we'll just let the pan heat up, and then the process is fairly straightforward. The tortilla goes on to heat through on one side. I put a quarter of the mixture that I've got onto the tortilla, stick a second tortilla on top, cook it for about 3 or 4 minutes, 4 minutes maybe on one side. This is definitely why I needed oil on it, because it's kind of stuck, and I didn't need it to be as hot as that. Oh dear, oh dear. They're not all going to be masterpieces. What we'll do is we'll say that one was just an experiment. We'll pretend it never happened. I'll do another one in a minute. It'll be perfect, and we'll just forget that whole thing ever happened. All right, we agreed? Cheers, everybody. Just give that other side chance to cook. Okay, it's super hot. I'm going to try the other one. This is where the oil definitely would give me a chance to have it not stick, but because I've turned the temperature down, it should be less of an issue. Let's get the rest of this filling on it. Spread it out. This perfectly cooked quesadilla. We'll ignore the burnt side. That's not there. That's not there. I will hope this other one comes out perfectly, but I haven't got the right tools. Again, whenever things go wrong in my cooks, other than just generally being incompetent, I'm fairly competent, but other than being a little bit incompetent, it's whenever I forget things that things go wrong, because the dish suddenly becomes very difficult to make. I reckon I need to flip this. Give me a second. It's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Yeah, so I think this is a pretty good dish, actually. Not a lot that I needed to bring with me. Lots of things that I did need to bring with me that I didn't sort out. To be fair, 1 spoon, one like fish slice spatula type thing, I'd have been all right with that. Now, regardless of whether that one's the other one is burnt, it's getting eaten, because I'm hungry and I've got to fuel up for the next bit. I've just taken the other one off the heat now. pretty happy that that one's going to be cooked. I'll come to that in a second. I've got the burnt one to have first. I believe you call it caramelization. I think that's what we're calling it. I just need to let the simmering cool down so I can properly and shut off that fire. And then yeah, give this a whirl. I say with a normal quesadilla, I'd have chopped it into, I think probably this size. I'd have probably chopped it into 4 segments, but I'm just gonna dive in as it is. Now then, ignoring the burnt bit, that's really tasty. For not needing to bring a lot of ingredients with me, and I'm still going to have loads of the salsa left, the sour cream. I've even still got these 4 little tortillas I've cut. So thinking about the recipe that I've had, cutting it down to size, each person could have 1 of these tortillas each. If we were going to try and serve 2, I know normally when I'm hiking, I'll eat a 2-person portion because I've done a lot of miles, which is fine. But yeah, it's good, really good. I'll have some with some sour cream. Delicious. The cheese is oozing. Hopefully that'll die off in a second. If not, I'll sort it out again. But yeah, the cheese is oozing. The chicken and the cheese and the salsa. You can't really go wrong. That goes on the list of nice, simple dishes. It's a winner. The Cheedale Quesadillas. Super stuff. Right, I'll get this lot packed up, get this other one eaten, and then off to Tideswell. Just reflecting on the food that I had today, it was really, really nice food. I messed up, obviously, with not having the right tools and things like that. But you know what? I still end up with some food at the end of the day. Some tasty food, some really simple food. I think if I was to have it again, other than bringing all the right things with me, there was an element to which I almost wanted it to be a little bit spicier. I don't know. Can't necessarily put it into words, because when I had some of the salsa separately, that was nice and spicy, but I guess the cheese and the chicken and the bread just dulled that spice down a little bit. It wasn't that it wasn't tasty, it was delicious, but maybe something else going in there that packs a bit of a punch. I know I've said it for a few dishes now, but chorizo would be fantastic in that. Other than that, this is Bushcraft Dave. Thank you for joining me, and as always, see you in the next one. Love it. Where's the camera? Are you there?